The space station floated quietly above the blue and green world of Virulon 5. It was a place of peace, built by both humans and aliens. For the first time in many years, the two great powers Earth's United Fleet and the Zelari Empire had come together for talks, hoping to end old tensions and build trust. Inside the shining halls of the station, guards stood alert. Porters floated in small drones, recording every handshake and every royal step. And at the heart of the event was Queen Valisara, ruler of the Zelari people, tall and graceful, her silver skin glowing under the artificial lights. Beside her walked her daughter, Princess Alira, a small child with bright violet eyes and curious steps. The humans watched her with interest. Most of them had never seen a Zelari child before. Alira had a gentle glow around her, a sign of her royal blood. She held her mother's hand tightly at first, but slowly grew bolder. Letting go and exploring the station halls during the quiet moments, everyone thought the visit was going well. Until it happened. The disappearance. It was late in the day. Queen had returned to her room to rest. The guards had relaxed slightly. Alira had gone with her handmaid to look at the stars from the station's observatory room with a full glass dome, showing the endless sky. But 10 minutes later, the handmaid came running, her face pale, her voice shaking. "She's gone," she cried. "The princess, she's gone." Chaos followed. Alarms blared, doors sealed. Soldiers ran in every direction. Drones scanned every corner. Within minutes, General Roth, the human security chief, was informed. And within 1 hour, a message was sent to Queen Valisara. When the queen heard the news, her cries shook the walls. Her eyes blazed, her silver skin shimmered with heat and fury. "Find her!" she roared. "If any harm comes to my child, I will burn this alliance to the ground." A human volunteer, many officers searched. The humans blamed alien sabotage. The aliens suspected human betrayal. The peace they had built was now cracking under the weight of suspicion. In the middle of this storm, a man stepped forward, Captain Elias Ward. He was a human soldier, tall, broad-shouldered with sharp eyes, and a scar running across his cheek. He had once been a frontline commander in the Drexer Wars, and though peace had ended the battles, Elias had not found rest. He was known for taking missions no one else wanted. Now he stood before Queen Valisara, unarmed and calm. "I want to search for the princess," he said. "Give me clearance. I'll find her." The queen looked at him with cold, burning eyes. "And why would I trust a human with the life of my child?" Elias didn't flinch. "Because I don't care about politics. I care about lost children. If you want your daughter back, let me do what I do best." The queen stared at him in silence. Her advisors whispered warnings. But finally, she raised a hand. "You have 3 cycles," she said. "If you return with empty hands, you will not return at all." Starting the search, Elias began at the observatory. The handmaid repeated her story. They had been watching a comet pass by when Alira asked to use the restroom nearby. She never came back. Security logs showed no sign of her passing the hallway. No alarms, no forced doors. It was like she had vanished into thin air. But Elias knew better. He examined the footage frame by frame, using both human tech and borrowed Zelari scanners. And then he found it a flicker, just for a second. Shadow in the corner of the hallway, shaped like a man, but invisible to standard eyes. "Cloaking tech," he whispered. "Smugglers." He followed the faint energy trail. It led to the lower cargo decks, where old systems powered the station's trade operations. There, he found a broken panel recently forced open and a faint drop of glowing violet blood. "She was here," he muttered. He searched deeper, and in a hidden, docking tunnel, he found what he feared, a small stealth ship, long gone. Its ID was wiped clean, but its fuel residue pointed to a jump toward the outer fringe, a wild region full of pirates, traders, and slavers. Elias clenched his jaw. Someone took her off station. I'd bet they didn't even know she was a dud. Princess. The weight of a promise. Back at the main command center, Elias presented his findings. The generals argued. The queen listened silently. "You need a fleet," one human admiral said. No, Elias replied. If they see a fleet coming, they'll vanish. Let me go alone. I can move faster, quieter. You're mad, someone muttered. But Queen. Thalyssera rose. She walked toward Elias slowly, her eyes locked onto his. Do you have children, human? No, Elias answered. Then you will not understand what it means to lose one, she said. But perhaps you can understand this. I will not survive if she is gone forever. Bring her back, and my empire will remember your name, Fail. And I will forget your face before I crush your world. Elias nodded. Understood. One man's mission within hours? Elias left the station. He didn't wait for approval from Earth's council. He took an old ship, the Silent Raven, once used for secret missions, now gathering dust in a dock as he flew into deep space. He sent only one message to General Roth, heading into the fringe. One trail, faint but real. I'm not back. In 5 days, tell the Queen I tried. Then he vanished into the stars, chasing a ghost trail, carrying the hope of a mother, and the future of peace between two worlds. Far away, on a forgotten moon, a small child cried softly in the dark, looking. At the stars, and somewhere deep inside her heart, she whispered, Please, someone find me. Elias Ward sat quietly inside his small stealth ship, the Silent Raven, as it cut through deep space. The stars outside blinked like cold eyes. Ahead of him was danger. Behind him was a queen's promised land, a little girl lost in the dark. He didn't have much to go on, just a weak trail of ion particles left by the kidnapper's ship. It led toward the outer fringe, a place where laws were ignored, and bad people hid in the shadows. Elias had been there before during the war. He knew. The kind of filth that lived in that part of the galaxy. Pirates, slavers, black market traders. The kind of people who would see a rare alien child and think only of credits. He clenched his fist. They have no idea who she is, he thought. If they find out she's the princess of Zalari, she'll never be seen again. He had to move fast. The Black Dust Market 2 days later, Elias landed on Narthos 6, a lawless moon covered in smoke and ruins. It was once a mining colony. Now it was home to thieves, mercs, and smugglers. Ships came here with stolen tech, strange creatures, and weapons no one should own. Elias pulled a worn-out coat over his uniform and strapped a knife to his boot. He carried no badge, no ID, and no flag. In this place, being a soldier was a death sentence. He walked through the old tunnels until he reached the Black Dust Market. A hidden bazaar full of strange smells, glowing cages, and whispers in many alien tongues. In one cage, he saw a furry creature from a planet he thought was extinct. In another, a small glowing being cried softly, curled into a ball. Ilias's jaw tightened. So this is where the galaxy hides its shame. He approached a trader, a fat alien with 6 eyes and golden teeth. I'm looking for something rare, Elias said calmly. The trader grinned. Everything here is rare, friend. Tell me more. I heard a child was brought here, Zalari violet eyes. The trader's smile froze. He glanced around. Don't ask about that. Dangerous talk. Elias leaned in. I have credits. I'm only asking where she was taken. I won't tell anyone. The alien shook his head. She didn't stay. Too hot. Brought trouble. Where? The trader hesitated. Then he whispered, Try Craven's Moon. But you didn't hear it from me. Elias turned and walked away without another word. Craven's Moon wasn't on most maps. It orbited a dying star in the edge of the fringe. No law. No rules, just warlords and broken machines. The only way in was through an asteroid field that tore apart ships like paper. But Elias made it through. He landed quietly, guiding the Silent Raven inside a canyon. Then he walked into the nearest settlement, a place made of metal scraps and stolen parts. This was a place where people disappeared. He moved carefully, talking to no one, just watching. He found an old informant, Lorik, a 3-armed ex-slaver who owed Elias a favor from long ago. Lorik looked surprised. Ward? I thought you were dead. Not yet, Elias said. I'm looking for a child. Lurek blinked. You came here for a child? Is a Zelari girl? She would have come through recently. Lurek scratched his chin. I heard a whisper. A new pet was sold to Warlord Drax. He deals in rare species. Keeps them in his sky fortress. Elias narrowed his eyes. Where is it?
North.
Ridge, guards, drones, traps. You won't get in alone. I've done worse. Lurek sighed. Then you'll need this. He handed Elias an old ID chip. It still works. Poses you as a buyer. Thanks, Ward Lurek said quietly. If you do find her, be careful. Drax doesn't like losing things. The fortress floated above the ground, held by magnetic thrusters. Metal towers rose into the dusty sky. Drones flew in circles, scanning for intruders. Below, armored guards stood like statues. Elias approached the gate with a hood over his head. A small alien scanned his ID chip and nodded. Double quotes, welcome, honored buyer. Inside, the halls were filled with glass cages. Elias saw creatures from many worlds, some strange, some sad, some angry, kept walking, ignoring the calls of traders offering him the finest stock. Then he saw her in the far end of the hall. Behind a force field sat a small girl with pale skin and glowing violet eyes. Her clothes were torn. Her knees were scraped. She was alive. Princess Alira. She sat quietly, holding a small piece of cloth with her mother's royal symbol on. She looked at the stars through the glass, silent but not broken. Elias walked closer. A guard moved in front of him. She's not for sale, the guard said. I just want to look. She's not for sale, the guard repeated, louder. Elias turned and walked away, but his heart pounded in his chest. She's here, caught in the dark that night. Elias returned, dressed in black armor and hidden under shadows. He moved through vents and used a stolen code to disable 2 drones. He reached the cage silently. Alira looked up as the force field dropped. Her eyes widened in fear. Elias raised a finger to his lips. I'm here to help. She stared at him for a long moment, then whispered, Did my mother send you? Yes, Elias said softly. She's waiting. Let's go. But just as he lifted her into his arms, alarms blared. They had been spotted. Guards rushed in. Drones fired. Stun blasts. Elias dodged and rolled, shielding Alira with his body. He fought with skill, taking down 2 guards with quick strikes. But more were coming. He ran through the halls, holding Alira close. She clung to him tightly, whispering, Please don't let them take me again. I won't, he promised. They reached the outer wall. Elias used a grappling hook to swing across a chasm, landing near an old service tunnel. As they climbed into the dark, Elias pressed a button on his wrist. Raven, come to me. His ship, hidden in the canyon, began to rise. But behind him, a voice echoed through the tunnel. Give her back, human. It was Warlord Drax himself, tall and monstrous, with metal skin and red eyes. Elias turned, holding the girl. You'll have to kill me first. Drax smiled. Elias Ward stood between a frightened alien princess and a warlord made of metal and hate. Warlord, Drax blocked the tunnel behind them, his red cybernetic eyes glowing in the dark. His voice echoed like thunder. You're brave, human, foolish. But brave? That girl is mine. Elias didn't move. His pulse was steady. His arm held the trembling child close. She doesn't belong to you, he said calmly. She's the daughter of Queen Valisara. Drax's eyes narrowed. So the rumors are true. I was about to sell her to the scorch markets. But now, he smiled darkly. She's worth far more than credits. With her blood, I could control Zelari minds, start a war, break the galaxy in 2. Elias didn't wait. He threw a flash bomb and ran. Escape in the storm, the tunnel shook as Elias ran with Alira in his arms. Behind them, Drax's guards gave chase weapons firing red beams that scorched the walls. Alira covered her ears and squeezed her eyes shut. I'm scared, she cried. I know, Elias said. But I promised I'd get you home, and I keep my promises. He kicked open a vent, slid down a shaft, and landed near a trash bay. Ahead, he saw a wide door that led outside to freedom. Then, it slammed shut. Drax's voice came through the speakers. "Can't run, soldier. I own this moon." Elias tapped his wristband. Raven opened fire. Outside, the silent Raven fired 2 plasma blasts at the fortress walls. Metal cracked and shook. Sirens screamed. The power flickered. The exit door slid open halfway. Elias dove through with the child, just as a blast hit behind them. The ground exploded and smoke filled the air. He coughed, blood running down his arm. Elira looked up at him, her small face. "Full of worry? You're hurt? I've had worse." The Raven rises. They reach the canyon, where the silent Raven hovered just above the rocks. Its hatch open. Elias climbed aboard and set Elira gently in the co-pilot's seat. "You know how to fly?" he asked with a weak smile. Elira shook her head. "I know how to read stars. That's enough." Elira cried. Elias powered the engines. "Then let's show them what this old ship can do." Raven shot forward, dodging blasts, spinning between cliffs. Fighters chased them like wolves. One missile nearly hit, but Elias rolled the ship hard, and it exploded behind them. He aimed for the sky. "Hold tight." The Raven shot through the clouds and into space, breathing again as passed. The ship floated quietly through deep space. Now, the chase was over for now. Elias sat in the pilot chair, his arm wrapped in a cloth. He looked tired, but alert. Beside him, Princess Elira stared out the window at the stars. "Do you miss home?" he asked gently. She nodded. "Every day. Your mother is waiting for you. She's not giving up. She sent you." "Yes," Elias said. "She did." Elira was silent for a while. Then she whispered, "I thought I would never see her again. I thought maybe she forgot me." Elias turned to her. She never forgot. She screamed at every soldier, every leader, every guard until someone listened. "She would have burned the stars for you." Elira's eyes filled with tears. "Then I'll be strong." A broken beacon. Elias tried to send a message back to the Zalari fleet, but something was wrong. "No signal," he muttered. "Communications jammed." He checked the ship's systems. There was a strange signal blocking all outgoing transmissions. It was coming from a nearby asteroid station, an old pirate relay tower. "We need to shut that down," he said. "Can't we just go around it?" Elira asked. "They'll track us through it. If we don't stop it, we'll never reach home." So, despite the risk, Elias landed near the tower. He gave Elira a communicator. "You stay here. Lock the doors. I'm not back in 30 minutes. Fly away." She looked scared, but I don't know how. Elias smiled. "Then wait, I'll come back." Machines and fire inside the tower. Elias found the source of the jamming old AI. System still loyal to Drax, it spoke in a cold voice. "You are not authorized. Prepare to be eliminated. Turrets activated." Drones flew down from the ceiling. Elias fought like a ghost from an old war. He moved fast, shot true, and used every trick he knew. He dodged lasers, hacked doors, and planted a small bomb near the core. "Goodbye, metal monster," he said. He ran as the timer ticked down. Behind him, the station exploded in a bright flash. Back on the Raven, Elira saw the flames in the sky. Her heart stopped. Then Elias limped aboard, covered in soot. "But alive. You came back. I always do." "The princess speaks with the jamming gone." Elias sent a message. "This is Captain Elias Ward. I have Princess Elira. Request immediate escort." Within an hour, a Zalari scout ship appeared on radar. Elira stood at the window, smiling for the first time. "They're coming," she said. Elias smiled too, but then his vision blurred. His side was bleeding badly. He leaned back, eyes closing. Elira rushed to him. "Stay awake. You're hurt." "I'm okay. Just tired." "No. You have to stay awake. I need you." He smiled faintly. "You're safe now. It's all that matters." Inside the silent Raven, alarms beeped softly. The air was heavy. Captain Elias Ward sat slumped in the pilot chair, his face pale, his sides soaked in blood. His vision faded in and out like a weak signal. Princess Alira stood beside him, tears in her violet eyes. "Don't die," she whispered. "Please don't die." The ship's AI spoke. "Warning. Pilot's life signs critical." Alira looked around, frightened but determined. She had been brave for days, but now she had to be more than brave. She had to act. The call for help? She activated the communication panel, hands shaking. "This is Princess Alira of Zalari," she said, her voice small but clear. "I have Captain Ward. He saved me. He is badly hurt. Please help us. We're near Sector 17, drifting toward Kara's belt. Please come." She waited, heart pounding, static. Then Princess Alira. "This is the Royal Guard ship Velinor. Hold position. We're on our way." Alira sat back, relief washing over her. But it wasn't over. Outside the ship, 3 blips appeared on the radar enemy fighters. Warlord Drax wasn't done chasing. Enemies returned, the fighters closed in fast. Weapons armed. Elias stirred weakly. "What's happening?" Alira held his hand. "You need to rest. I'll handle this." She looked at the controls. She didn't know much, but she remembered how Elias moved them. She remembered the blinking buttons, the throttle, and the trigger switch. She gritted her teeth and took the pilot seat. "I may be small," she whispered, "but I am still a daughter of the Queen." She activated the shields just in time. First blast shook the ship. The princess fights back. The fighters surrounded them like sharks. Alira flew the Raven in a clumsy circle, but her small hands held firm on the controls. She hit the wrong button, then corrected. The ship dodged one missile. The next one grazed the side. The Raven spun. Elias tried to speak. "Use auto-aim." Alira nodded and tapped the button he once showed her. The ship's defense system locked onto one of the enemy ships and fired a plasma shot. Boom. One enemy exploded. The other 2 closed in. Angry now, but just before they fired, a royal fleet dropped out of hyperspace. The Queen's Wrath 10. Massive Zalari cruisers surrounded the fighters. Bright blue beams shot through the dark. The enemy ships were vaporized in seconds. The Velinor approached the Raven. Alira ran to Elias. "They're here. You did it. You brought me home." Elias smiled faintly. "You flew like a starhawk." "Home?" Again, the royal medics rushed aboard. They lifted Elias onto a floating bed, checking his vitals. Liar never left his side. They flew to the royal capital of Zelari Prime. The skies were golden, towers tall and glowing like crystal. Crowds filled the streets. When the news spread, the lost princess was found at the palace. Queen Valisara waited on the grand stairs. Her silver skin glowed with emotion, her hands trembling. Then the shuttle landed, and from it stepped a small figure, tired but smiling. Alira ran. "He found me, Mother." The Queen dropped to her knees, arms open, tears falling like rain. She held her daughter close and wept. "I thought I lost you," she whispered. "You sent him," Alira said. "He brought me back." The human hero Elias was placed in the royal healing chamber, surrounded by glowing crystals and ancient Zalari medicine. For days he slept. Finally, he opened his eyes. Queen Valisara stood beside him, dressed in her royal armor. Her eyes were softer now. "You are awake," she said. Elias tried to sit up. Mission complete. She chuckled softly. "Yes, mission complete." He looked around. "Where's the kid?" "She is safe, playing in the gardens." "She speaks of you often." Elias nodded. "Good." The Queen stepped closer. "Captain Elias Ward, for your bravery, your strength, and your heart, I name you guardian of the royal line. No human has ever received this honor. But you are no ordinary human." Elias blinked. "I'm just a soldier. You are more than that. You are the man who brought my child home." The offer later that night, Elias stood on a balcony watching the stars. His wound still hurt, but his heart felt light. Alira joined him, holding a small flower. "I picked this for you," she said. He took it with a smile. "Thank you, Princess. You're not going away, right?" Elias looked down. "I don't know. Your world is beautiful, but I'm not used to staying in one place." "You could stay here," she said quietly. "You could be my protector." Elias looked at her. You already have guards, ships, a whole empire. She smiled, but they didn't find me. You did. A shadow remains far away in the dark parts of space. Warlord Drax watched the newsfeed from Zellery Prime. He saw the celebration. He saw Elias on the balcony with the Queen. He clenched his metal fists. You may have won this time, human, he growled. But war never ends. And next time, I'll take more than a princess. His ship disappeared into the stars. 3 days had passed since Captain Elias Ward brought back Princess Alira. The royal city of Zellery Prime was still filled with lights, songs, and celebration. Across the stars, humans and aliens spoke the same words. A human soldier saved. The Queen's daughter. But peace never lasts long in a galaxy full of danger. Far beyond the borders of safe space, Warlord Drax was building a new fleet. He'd lost the girl, but not his hunger for power. Now he wanted revenge. The royal honor in the Great Crystal Palace. A ceremony began. Thousands gathered. Drones hovered above, recording every second. Across the galaxy, the event was broadcast to all human and alien alike. Queen Velisera stood on the shining platform, wearing silver robes. Beside her stood her daughter, smiling proudly. And before them stood Elias, wearing armor gifted by the Zellery, the symbol of a protector. The Queen raised her hand. Captain Elias Ward, she said, her voice echoing, you crossed enemy lines. You entered the darkest corners of space. You faced monsters, machines, and death. All for the sake of a child not your own. The crowd listened in silence, for your courage and heart. I name you Starshield of Zellery, guardian of the princess, and friend to the throne. She stepped forward and placed a glowing crystal badge on Elias's chest. The crowd roared, but Elias only gave a small nod. He wasn't here for medals. He was here because a child needed help. That was enough. A warning from the stars that night. As Elias sat in the royal garden watching the stars, a message came through his private channel. It was short. Incoming fleet detected, unknown signature. Multiple warships headed toward Zellery's space. He stood at once and rushed to the Queen's chambers. Drax is coming, he said. The Queen narrowed her eyes. Then he has truly lost his mind. He's not coming for you, Elias said. He's coming for her. Lyra looked up from her book, brave and quiet. Let him come. The Queen touched her daughter's hair. You have your father's courage. Elias turned. We don't have time to wait. We need to prepare. Preparing for battle, the Zellery fleet gathered above the capital. Dozens of crystal cruisers, shaped like wings and light, took position. Human ships from Earth also arrived fast, and heavily armed. For the first time, Zellery and humans stood side by side, ready to fight together. Elias stood on the command bridge of the lead ship. The STARBLADE, he spoke to the fleet. This enemy doesn't care about peace. He wants fear. He wants chaos. But we won't give him that. We'll give him fire. Princess Alira stayed behind in a safe vault deep beneath the palace. But she wore a crystal pendant. Elias gave her one that tracked her heartbeat and location. Come back, she told Elias before he left. He smiled. I will. The Battle of Zellery Skies. The sky above Zellery. Prime turned black as Drax's fleet dropped out of hyperspace. He had brought 50 warships, covered in armor and powered by stolen tech. His voice echoed through the comms. Surrender the girl, or I burn your world. Queen Velisera answered calmly. You lost her. You will lose again. The battle began. Laser beams lit the sky. Ships exploded. Fighters darted between cruisers. Like insects of war, Elias led a squad into the heart of the enemy fleet. He boarded one of Drax's command ships with a small team, using stealth pods. He moved through metal halls. Taking down guards with silent precision, he wanted to end this now, face to face in the center of the ship. Elias found Drax, the warlord. Stood tall, covered in black armor, his red eyes glowing with hate. You just don't know when to die, Drax growled. Elias aimed his blaster. Let's finish this. The two charged at each other. Elias dodged Drax's first punch, then fired at his chest. The blast bounced off, Drax struck back, sending Elias flying into a wall. But Elias was no ordinary man. He pulled out a pulse knife and attacked again. They fought across the command deck. Metal clashed. Sparks flew. Blood spilled. At last, Elias drove the knife into Drax's chest and whispered, "This is for the girl." Drax gasped, then fell, his body sparking and silent. A message of peace. With Drax dead, his fleet panicked. Many ships surrendered. Some fled into deep space. The battle was over. Elias returned to Zellery Prime, tired and bruised but alive. Elira ran to him, hugging him tightly. "You came back," she whispered. "Of course," Elias said.
"I
do." The Queen stood behind them. "The galaxy knows your name now. You saved a child. You stopped a war. What will you do next?" Elias looked out at the stars. "Maybe I'll stay for a while." "The legend lives on years past." Peace returned, Princess. Elira grew strong and wise. She trained in leadership, languages, and diplomacy. But she also trained in defense with Elias as her teacher. He remained by her side, a silent protector, a living legend. People across planets told stories of the human who braved the darkness to bring a child home. They said that when Queen Valisara cried, it was not out of sorrow, but because hope had returned to the galaxy. And in every corner of space, when a child was afraid, mothers whispered the tale. "Don't worry, little one. If you're ever lost, I'll find you."